Hello. Okay, for this lesson, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to ink in Photoshop. So if you guys are into doing line art for like tattoo design, comic books, or just any sort of line art illustration, this is going to be some stuff that'll help you. All right, cool. So first things first, I'm gonna just go into my Wacom settings and I'll show you how I program uh, my pen just for inking, right? So normally the um, the X button, the uh, the X button on your keyboard will change your colors from like black to white. So goes in black, I press X, go to white, that kind of thing. So seeing as how I'm just going to be all I need really is black and white, I'm just going to change my pen setting over here. So I'm going to use my forward facing button, and I'm going to change that, and I'm going to again use X, and I'm going to use change my back button to Alt, Control, and right click. Why I do that is now when I press my forward button on my pen, I just click it and it immediately goes to white. Click it again, it goes to black. So instead of actually even touching the keyboard, I can just change my color to black and white on the fly. So black and white is the only color that I need. And then when I click my back button, normally if I hold down Control, Alt, and then right click, and then drag my pen, I can change my size on the fly, but I'll just program that all into one button. And now, see like that, I click the button, click it again, and I can just change the size that I want, because that's all I really need. Change from black and white, and then change my size. Cool, so we got that down. Sweet, alrighty. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to show you two ways that I personally ink. The first one is going to be just super standard. I think everybody would know how to do this. And the second one is a method that I haven't really seen before. This is something that I kind of found works for me. So first thing, I've got this illustration. This is the beginning sketch that I did for a band called Monicka and The Wolf. This is kind of a singer-songwriter couple duo, and this was my original pencil sketch, and eventually I inked it, turned it into a t-shirt design, that kind of thing. That's Monicka over there, and the music you'll hear in the background is their band, so you can check them out later on if you want to. So first things first, just when you want to select a brush to use, I've got like some nice inking brushes that I've just downloaded off the internet. Some kind of nice stuff like that. I have more of a kind of a scratchy brush, which is more kind of a chalky thing. I think this one is kind of a default Photoshop one, so you can kind of find that one. Or if you really want to, you can just use a default hard round brush. That's totally fine as well. If you want something with more of an edge, I would encourage you to go and just Google search inking Photoshop brushes, free, that kind of stuff. But yeah, so first things first, what I'm gonna do is I just make a blank layer on top, and it's just pure white, pure blank layer, and I reduce my opacity, almost like tracing paper, right? Just like that, and make a new layer, choose black, and then I just go in, and I just start to ink. Oh, also, I changed my layer over here to multiply. So when I make a mark and then I want to erase something, when I choose white, it just cuts it out completely, like that. So if I just had nothing there, right, you'd see the black and white. But when you put it to multiply, it doesn't show through. So that's how I want to set it up. Cool. And then just basically, again, you just go in and you just get to it. Just start inking. It's super simple. This is the most non-technical kind of thing you could possibly be doing. You know, just ink it, and you ink, 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 kind of thing. Make a mistake, press X, and erase, and you know, blah blah blah, on and on and on, till you get the required result. Get the desired result that you want. You know, on and on and on. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Right, super simple method. Just keep on and on and on, and then when you're done, you cut off the bottom layer, bring back that white, and then you've got your black and white drawing over there. Another thing that I kind of just discovered, this is another method that I personally use. See, the problem, well, not the problem, well, the downside of doing the first method is that, you know, it's very, very time consuming. However, if you, and sometimes you may lose a little bit of that energy from the initial sketch, but this is another way that helps you bring in that little bit of that chaos. So first off, I'll just press Ctrl J just to duplicate my layer. I just do that so, you know, in case I mess up, I still have my original that's untouched. So what you do is you go into the, go to Image, Adjustment, and you go to Threshold. Because at the moment over here, this image it's a mixture of white and a whole bunch of grays, from light gray to dark gray, all this kind of thing. There's no black. But if we just go to Adjustments, then Threshold, and click it, this is going to just turn your image into pure 100% white and 100% black. And then you move this thing around so you get like get something close to what you want. That's too much, it's too little, but maybe something like that. Click OK. That's alright. Like, I'm gonna get, again, it's still kind of messy. We're not quite done, but I have a lot of the original line work that I may want to keep. So again, on this layer, again, I just go with my black and white, and now I just again start to ink on top of this. So I start to clean up some. Let's change my brush a little bit. Yeah, you know, just keep what I want and refine a bunch of edges all the way through. Just ink, ink, ink all the way through. Just on and on and on. And I can clean up edges that I don't want. And again, I got my opacity set to 100%, my flow set to 100%, but you can experiment with what works for you, that kind of thing. Just again, on and on and on and on and on, and same sort of deal. And this piece was super laborious in the end. I'll show you how it turned out in the end of this video. But yeah, so that's another way of doing it. So using the adjustments, using the threshold method to retain some of that original energy from your sketch. Let me show you another image that I did. This was for a band called Goat. Sadly, I think they've changed their name and they're no longer active. But this was this two-headed goat kind of illustration that I did for them. And this is something I want to talk a little bit about with the technique here. As you can see, with the way that I use my lines, I try and I wrap my lines around the form. So over here we have this horn, right? And you can see that like the horn is kind of going in this direction, you know, and then it is the middle point, and then the horn curves back on this side. Over here, like with the horns, the way the form goes this way, and then it wraps around this little bit. It's got this little bump. It goes like that, you know, the bump, and then it goes around. kind of thing. So the deal with that kind of, the philosophy behind that is, if you've got, like, just draw this little cylinder. Right? If you got this kind of thing, right, you want to be, you want your lines to be wrapping around the form, right? You want them to be kind of going that way, showing that way. I've seen a lot of people with a lot of like kind of student work, they sort of don't quite know where to put their, what sort of direction to shade it in, or to render in, and a lot of people will just like render like whatever, like whatever, who gives a shit, like whatever, all over the joint, right? And I think like let's say I'm going to be putting 1,000 brushstrokes into this illustration, you know, or more, right? I can either use my 1,000 brushstrokes in this chaotic manner that doesn't help me at all in showing, you know, in furthering my drawing, or I can like use these 1,000 brushstrokes in a way that kind of helps show the form. So for this thing, what I would do is, you know, if I'm trying to like show like boniness or something going on, I would, I'm going to be going in that direction, you know, showing. And over here, like maybe I want like the grain of this bone to just be like that. And I think all in the same sort of direction. Clean that up. But you get the idea. So, you know, I want to even can sometimes I put like little dots to go in that direction, kind of thing. Little bumps and nicks, you know, maybe the bone cracks in that sort of direction. And it just helps to show what's going on with the direction. And then again, you know, we knew the form goes that way as well. So then I could put, you know, maybe I put like a little cut that bone and it goes that way, or that kind of get some of this crisscrossing kind of thing. Now that's the philosophy behind the inking. You want to have, like, you know, if you're gonna be spending like a couple of hours doing this shit, like you might as well, like, you know, not waste it and use your lines efficiently, you know. That was the philosophy that I was using for this kind of stuff, you know. Even, you know, we got some of how I was thinking about was the form goes that way, kind of thing, or the form goes that way, then it comes around. So, you know, you come around, and I could have, now that looking back on this, I could have pushed it a little farther, you know, done some stuff like that to show how the form wraps in on itself, you know, maybe some stuff around there. Yeah. It's always funny going back to old pieces, you know, you could see like where you could have pushed things farther, and the little things you could have done to made it a little better. But again, I don't know, it's the same, I guess it's the same philosophy going on here with the horns. See, I wanted the lines to be going in that direction and then coming in that direction. Same sort of thing. Blah 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 blah. Over here, over here. Going back to this one. Let's see. I'll show you the final. The final was that kind of thing. And so over here, we can even see, you know, the texture wrapping around, kind of thing like that. Even tried to do that same sort of deal with the fur, you know, going in this direction, going in that direction. Yeah, with the teeth, as we can see, I was trying to render in that direction. Yeah, same sort of deal. Yeah, I think that's it. That's basically my philosophy on rendering and stuff. So you know, if we've got like a cube, right? Okay, so a lot of people, well, some students that I have taught before, like they would just kind of, when they want to render this cube, just using line work, you know, you sort of go whatever in any sort of direction. Again, kind of a waste of effort, in my opinion. Again, if we can look at this cube, like we know that, you know, we can imagine. What I try to do, I try to imagine like a 3D wireframe. Like, you know, if you guys ever seen, you know, those behind the scenes making of the Pixar movies, that kind of thing. You know, you sort of imagine, you've seen these wireframes. You just try to imagine these wireframes around everything, and that really helps to inform how I shade, how I render, how I make my brush strokes. You can see, right? So, you know, I want to be, let's reduce that opacity. I want to always be shading in that direction, kind of thing, or, you know, shading in that direction. You know, just whatever it is, you know, that could help my purpose, that helps me show my form. And again, this is how I see things. This is how I do my work. If you don't agree, like whatever, man, it's art. It's all good. Like it's just my suggestion. So everything that I say, it's just my best informed opinion, and yeah, like what works for me. But you know, if you can't stand, if it's just a method that I feel really helps me show form better. Yeah, and how I approach my inking and all that kind of stuff. And even here, so we got this this lotus. If I go back to the original again, if I draw these lines to show the form, they kind of go like, you know, the inside of that lotus petal, and it goes like that. Maybe the inside. Oh yeah, okay, this would be a good example. So the inside goes like there, right? But it goes in and then it sort of wraps around, kind of thing, like that. Like this part of the petal is its own thing. This part of the petal is its own thing, and this area is all the inside. So you know, you would go in there. Even when I want to make my lines, it shouldn't be final. Yeah, just kind of follow that sort of philosophy when I wanted to show. And again, you can you don't have to go all the way. You know, you could, if you don't have to make complete straight lines, you could even just sort of, you could break it up. Okay. More kind of staggered, if that's the look you want to go for. If you don't want to be super harsh, you know, you don't have to go full inking. Add some nicks, some cuts. Again, looking back on this thing, I did that big illustration a couple of years ago, so you know, there's some stuff I wouldn't do. I would do a little bit differently now, or could make it better in a few ways. But it's basically it. Cool. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. Bye.